Okay. Beep, 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 beep. We're good. uh, let's just spend 20 seconds making sure that we're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. Oh, the names are not in the right spots, but I'll fix that in a second. So, welcome, everybody, to another edition of Who Are the Monsters? As I speak, I'm going to move everybody's cameras around so they match up with their names. So, that
The
is, yep, correct.
Star Trek lean.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Well, Carly, since you really seem to be killing it, tell me, who are you going to be playing today?
I will be playing Gwen Bison. She is the expert, and she is going through an existential crisis, which I feel like I said a couple episodes ago. It hasn't stopped.
Nothing's changed.
No,
Oh
Gwen, I'm gonna
goodness.
need you to get it together.
I can't. It's too late. It's over.
However, Gwen has acquired a new companion pet, minion. What is the term for? What are they called? Priscilla? Priscilla.
Priscilla?
Priscilla
Oh,
the
The
yeah, that's
beetle.
beetle.
right. I
Priscilla.
have my little beetle that was from Smudge. And I have been keeping her fed. Yeah, she's a little green beetle who's now in a little pouch in my pocket or in a little jar with holes in the top in my like belt. Yes.
Excellent. And you have successfully been able to harvest the meat from.
I had fish. I remember it was fish that
Yes.
we were eating, and when I was preparing the fish, I sliced off some
Okay,
meat
perfect.
for Priscilla.
Excellent. How about you, Norman? How are you today?
I am hot right now, and not in a I'm bringing sexy back kind of way. I want to destroy the sun if possible, like in Skyrim. That's how much I'm hating it right now.
Beautiful
Throw a goddamn
comparison.
arrow.
How do you think Killian feels about extreme heat? What are his thoughts on? Does he share a lot of sentiments that you hold?
Yeah, because he understands the applications for applying extreme heat. He still does not like it. That's why in his office there's AC running
Would
at all
Killian
times.
magical AC, of course?
Yes,
Um,
magical AC.
I could buy you strapped to a fan.
Some break leave.
correct.
It's actually just a bunch of like hamsters running to power up a generator.
How many hamsters?
How many
227.
Good, good, good. Okay.
Your average amount.
Cannon? I'm writing it down.
227. Next time you visit Killian's office, they will be somewhere. Just listen for the rattling.
Is that the whirring sound?
Yes.
It's
It's over here. You can see it in my screen. It's right there.
Oh, your AC. Is it powered by hamsters, though?
It is
227
not.
of
I
them?
wish it was. That would be much better.
All right, perfect. Well, how about you, Devin? How are you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. I think I can sympathize with Eledwin's distaste of warm weather. No.
Any burns? I know Eledwin would probably experience much more extreme reactions to sunlight than you.
Very much like Eledwin, I don't tan, I burn.
I'm so sorry for your luck.
So I'm feeling his pain.
I guess speaking about his pain, Eledwin's current status. How much of his armor does he still have? What can you re-visualize this character for us? Because I think out of everybody, he seems to have gone through the most like physical transformations, just due to circumstances around him.
Yeah. His hair, which was once slicked back and a nice platinum blonde, is kind of disheveled. And some of the because it was all pulled back and very always slickly and nice and neat, and it's got twigs, it's leaves, dirt stuff in there. He's got sunburn all over his face. Little bits of his skin are kind of starting to peel a little bit, and he's prides himself on being very well groomed and clean shaven. I'm going to say he has a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going. He's a little bit scraggly, some bags under his. He looks like like your standard typical like stereotype of programmer, like
Oh.
just wandering
Slouching
around.
shoulders.
Yeah, he's just wandering around like
There's
he
no
hates
more
his
pep
job.
in your step.
Yeah, there wasn't much there already, but now armor wise, he still has most of it on. He has a few pieces that were removed because Killian was going to do some stuff with that, and
Was that ever resolved? 'Cause
I felt like I gave that back to you, or no. I think what happened was it was just there because you was badly hurt at the time. So I don't know
Hello?
if
yeah,
we
oh
could
yeah,
take
I
it.
think you just strapped it back onto me. Yeah, so
Yeah.
some parts of it are black, which
Right, right.
Yeah.
is not helpful with the heat. The other
Mm.
rest of it is a nice. It was a nice sort of shiny silver, but a lot of that has kind of worn away, revealing itself just to kind of be a sort of an enamel over top of really like standard steel, very not very shiny, just kind of
Tarnished.
opaque. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's dented and scratched, and there's little punctures all over it. The nice diaphanous cloak that he once wore has been completely shredded. There's only like a little bit left still stuck to the strap on his pauldron. And the only thing really that's still in exquisite condition is his Ethel Kawa one deal, which is the holy staff that he has. And that's really, it's a little waterlogged, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape.
Okay, damn. Damn. Not sorry per se, but damn. So I think
As a DM, why would you?
a wonderful contrast, right? Would be to Miriam's character. So Faryad, I feel like how has their experience been thus far?
Uh, Mostly trying to not get killed by everyone around them.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of maybe Smudge and possibly Gwen. And they're fine. They don't really, temperatures and things like that don't affect them as much as it should. However, it seems to be that there's been far too many close calls, and Smudge has also been having quite a few close calls, and Faryad doesn't know what's happening regarding the apocalypse because the signs keep getting happening sooner and sooner, and that's just throwing them off.
I think that's really interesting because I was kind of focusing. My dog, sorry. I was kind of focusing on the idea that they have experienced, I guess, a lot of. I don't want to necessarily call it trauma, but a lot has happened around them lately. Is this just something that they internalize as normal? Like, yes, people dying here and there. Like, this is to continue on, like, is just normal.
Well, when all you've gone through is one trauma or another, it does become a little sort of like, wait, this doesn't happen usually? This is actually a rarity?
Very real. Okay, that's fair. Excellent. And then, Shannon, welcome back.
Thank you.
We missed you for sure. It seems like Smudge has been up to a lot. He was kind enough to leave some letters for everybody. However, I mean, he'll discover at one point or another, the reason for his missing underpants, and I look forward to that. I have to ask a rather general question about Smudge, just due to the kind of current situation. But what do you think he was thinking about, hello kitty, as he was writing those letters? Like, what was his motivation for wanting to give something to everybody?
I think Smudge was leaving and not necessarily knowing whether or not he would come back. And so it was very much like, this is what people need to know, but also setting up for if I do come back.
For sure. Okay, excellent. Was Priscilla something special to him previously?
Oh yeah, Priscilla was his best friend.
Oh.
and kind of um, the best. I think he thinks about her in like 5-year-old terms, which is she is small and green, and most people think she's kind of gross, and therefore he is small and green, and most people think he is kind of gross, so he likes her a lot.
There's a real bond over that.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, so I think if we can have a collaborative refresher, our last session ended up the team, with Killian still on the boat, decided to venture into the forest on the Spindrift Isle. Rather quickly, mist had overcome them, and it became quickly apparent that the mist was accompanied by some tree roots that attacked. You all put up a valiant defense. However, Smudge disappeared, and Eledwin's cloak was viciously torn away. I believe you were also severely injured. What was the hit that finally made you take a lot of harm?
I think it was. It was because I was attacking the vines with the blade at the end of the staff, which caused it to snap back at me,
Yes,
crash
yes.
into my breastplate.
Because harm goes both ways.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about armor. It works pretty good at, protecting your skin, but you get hit hard enough.
Still hurts.
Mm.
Okay, then the party returned back to the boat where Killian was, doing his one-man party. Time had passed, but not enough time before the roots returned to encircle the boat and start to pull it deep into the forest. Everybody was able to jump off at one point or another, at the exception of Eledwin, who you escaped with the boat on fire at the very end when it reached its destination at the largest tree base you have ever encountered in your however many years of life. Everybody else arrived at the tree, and a light kind of sketched its way through the bark of the tree, and a door appeared. Inside, glimmering light. Picture a dark room, but when you have a disco ball on the ceiling, the kind of reflection and the sparkles that emit all around, it's very similar to that, but the sparkling reflection is more pale than that. And y'all are hanging outside a tree and behind a burning boat. Very, very burning boat.
I think several of us are like bleeding.
A little bit of smoke inhalation. It's not great on the lungs. Not a lot of space around here.
I was poisoned at one point.
Yes!
That's not something we have to deal with.
Oh, goodness.
Much happened.
My armor came in handy. My
Your
newly found
upgrade.
natural armor.
Yes. I'm very happy you got that. Okay, perfect. What would you like to do? How are y'all feeling? Maybe check in with each other. I think that might be important.
I look at Eledwin and I'm and touching the tree and the doorway and everything, and I go, "Is that normal? Are we supposed to be concerned?"
What is normal anymore anyway? Really?
This tree was granted to me in a vision by Sehanine. We must enter it.
I just march right in.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, inside, there's a bit of a step up. It's not very accessible in terms of tree entrances. However, you enter, and the space that you see it can only be described as vast. When your foot hits the ground, and of course the ground is carved out of the tree root, it's it's beautiful. It's probably been like polished. Maybe they had like some epoxy that they put on top to like make it shimmer. It's wonderful, and it's encompassed by beautiful carvings all around the tree. You can't even really see wall to wall. It's so vast, but you definitely hear the echo of your steps as you step inside. And visually, it's low light with some glittering that just kind of touches the walls around you.
I'm gonna look up. I want to see if this, how far up this sort of extends as it go outside my field of vision.
It does.
This is beautiful.
And you said this was all like carved,
Yep.
or does it seem more like it's like the tree kind of was manipulated to grow this way?
A bit of both.
Okay.
There's definitely influences that it impacted the way the tree grew.
Curious.
It's dark and empty.
Mm,
I'm going
I'm gonna-
to examine the carvings.
I was gonna do that too.
Nerds.
Perfect.
Wait, hold on. I never got my answer. Was if this was regular darkness or advanced darkness? Like this kind of matters. Fuck. I'm just gonna put on my night vision goggles as well. Although personally, I want to like turn to Faryad and be like, "Hey, I have fire. Do you want to just set this on fire instead, and we could just leave?"
Maybe let's save that. Let's put that as a maybe.
Check maybe.
You know what? You're growing on me. I like that. We'll put fire for later.
Fire for later. Write that down.
It's going to be a new record. 5 minutes into a game, we've already suggested fire.
I think so.
I
Fire
haven't
for later.
suggested.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
One of us has
I'm
fire.
I'm putting the idea for fire out there.
As you're debating whether or not, who knows how even flammable this place is. Aledwin and Gwen wander off towards the edges to examine the carvings. You hear clacking, the click-clack of footsteps off in the distance. Far enough away, you get a feel that it might be a little bit before they reach your vicinity.
In that case, Gwen, you look at the carvings. I'm going to watch our back.
Okay. I will examine the carvings.
Thank you, I love you. Free drink service.
Yes.
It happens. Gwen, what can I make you roll? What did we end up deciding for something like this? I believe it was...
Really sharp.
Yeah, investigate a mystery or... Yeah, because I remember we weren't sure about that.
Literally read a bit.
I think
Yeah,
I was
that's
the
true.
literal take on reading something. And
Yeah.
I'm still a big fan of that.
I like it. Okay. 11.
You've definitely seen symbols and designs and carvings like this. A lot of I'm going to use a word that I don't actually know the definition of. A lot of the motifs, a lot of like the carvings you've seen in the Church of Sahanin. Maybe one of the few times you've popped in to request some books, maybe to visit Ed. But you've definitely seen, there's a lot of parallels happening.
Okay. I'll tap him on the shoulder and say, I think you'll be better equipped to look at these than me. These look like they're part of the Church of Sahanin.
That's going to pique my interest.
I'll switch with you.
Works for me. All right, so I'm going to turn around and look at these reliefs that have been carved into the wall. And I guess I'll do the same roll.
Yes, please.
So that is a 4 because I am not a smart cookie.
Yeah, I mean, it's the carving, like the crescent moon. There's a couple of like a woman with like a bow, and the bow is the crescent moon.
Yeah.
Your basic stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary at all.
Since I'm kind of close by, well, since we're all together, couldn't I give it a shot?
Absolutely.
All right.
Considering that my response will definitely be based on what your pre-existing information of the church would be too.
All right. If one nerd failed, let's see if I can help as well. I got a 12.
Nice. Damn.
Yeah.
Um. So from okay, hold on. I have somebody breathing. Devin. Maybe that might be your mic. If you can move it away from your face a little bit.
Mine's muted.
Nope, you're fine. Norman. Nobody else has. Hmm. Solve that
I'm
mystery
muted, so it
again.
can. I'm muted, so it couldn't be me.
Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
I turned off my fan as a just in case.
It's okay. It was a breathing sound, not a fan. I mean, it could have been a fan sound. Um,
Is there an elder being invading your mind?
No.
I'm doing a little bit of research as we speak. So Norman, you are you a tactile learner? As a scientist, do you find that you can absorb information through touch
Uh,
as well as sight?
so sight, touch, yeah, pretty much. Can, so long as I'm getting an understanding, it doesn't matter how I get it.
Okay. So from your experiences, you've definitely done enough experiments, existed in a realm where there is the physical and there is the magical. So as you kind of bump into a Ledwin to kind of push your way through to check out what is available on the wall, you can feel the spots that have been magically carved into the wall, and you can even feel the spots that have been manually carved. The ones that have a bit of a manual more physical feel to them. They seem like the most natural parts of the tree, whereas the parts that have been maybe burned in, sketched in, doing through other magical means, they seem a little bit more nefarious. They don't. Your knowledge of Sahanin, you know that she is like domain. Her domain is trickery. Like there's a lot of illusion. There's a lot of what else is there? Um, yeah, forbidden stuff with this goddess. However, you don't get those vibes from some of the art here. You get vibes that speak of maybe tampering, maybe something that isn't quite right.
All right, people. So the there's some part of the carvings that actually is supposed to be here, but then there's these like magical ones, which typically, it's not supposed to be there, but they're not giving off this bad vibe that they're gonna mess us up. So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
How intimately are you checking this wall?
Like I have like my whole hand pressed on it, like really like moving it along, feeling it across. Sort of like if I was to be reading Braille. That's like the best description I can give.
Well, these two are. Oh, did you?
Oh no, I was just gonna say if he talks about things that have been re-added, I'm gonna double check those sections and try to
Well,
decide what it might mean.
Okay.
no, when I was looking at it, not much was re-added. It looked like they were all kind of put in the same place as the natural carvings.
Faryad, what are you doing while these two are having this conversation?
I'm mostly, I'm mostly sort of popcorning just a little bit.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Oh, I'm just looking back and forth, like popcorn slash popcorn. Uh,
Yeah.
and if it looks like they're running around in circles, then maybe I'll try to see if I can figure something out, something that they might have missed.
Okay. Um while you're considering that, you do hear the footsteps that are getting louder, and eventually a figure materializes through the sparkling light. Gwen, I believe you would be the first point of contact.
Yes.
You see a rather tall elven woman, long, straight black hair, beautiful features, nice, beautiful pointed ears, wonderful eyebrows, of course. Wearing like a nice long silvery robe that's like covering her with the crest of Sahanin on it. She pauses maybe 5 feet in front of you, holding a book. She slowly puts it down. I'm sorry, do you have an appointment here?
Not yet. Could we make one?
Uh, Perhaps? Do you have a chosen with you? Is that what you're here for?
Yes, we're looking for our chosen.
We only accept drop-offs.
There's no pickups?
Oh god damn it!
That's good.
All right.
No. Sorry. What did you say your name was?
I'm sorry. My name is Gwen Vison, and I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
Um.
Sorry.
Hold on. It's okay.
My name is Sharon, but it's none of your damn business anyway.
My name is Elen Autumn. Nice to meet you.
Well, I'll kind of turn around and what are Aledwin and Killian and Faria doing?
Arguing over fire? No, over.
I'll just go.
I
Everyone.
think me
We have
and
a
Killian are
visitor.
just arguing over scripture versus science. We've
I'm just-
just got into the same debate that we constantly get into over and over
Nope.
again.
Even though knowing damn well I'm right.
I'll just kind of lean over my shoulder and say, everybody, we have a visitor.
And my
What?
head just rotates
Ugh.
180.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna like stand next to Gwen and ask, who are you?
My name is currently of no concern. She's going to point towards Faryad. Is that the chosen that you've brought?
No,
No.
we're here to pick up a chosen. You know, a little goblin about like 4 feet, smells extremely bad, but wears the same armor as this elf dude over here. Should have like no underwear whatsoever.
How would
Yeah.
you know?
That is an uncomfortable detail, but thank you for including it.
Yeah, we're on that
Oh.
level right now.
Hmm.
Kind of need him back. He was
Um,
taken away by some weird tentacle trees, tree vines. Yeah, vines. There we go.
Elena's going to take a moment and kind of scan the group. She's definitely going to notice you, Eledwin, but very purposefully return her gaze back to Gwen. So, I'm sorry, you said you're looking to pick up a chosen. Do you perhaps know where you are?
What was the island we were on? Out of character. I forgot.
Spindrift.
We are on the Isle of Spindrift, is all I know.
Correct. Traditionally, this isle is known as the most monster-infested one. It's a zone we quarantine. The wild family, and she's going to gesture towards Killian, pick up many specimens here. We've learned so much, and science has been able to, advance as a result of this place. However, it is also a base of operations. For many things. One is something I worry that you may not have authorization for.
Well, seeing as how I'm the son of the head scientific guild right now, I'm pretty sure I have the clearance to.
Sir,
all
it
this.
sounds to me like you're trying to say, do you know who my father is? And I'm not going to play that
Yeah.
game.
I like her.
Well,
My new best friend.
damn.
Sorry, guys.
Hmm. I want to. You know what? I want to mush up my hair real quick and get the Karen look. I want to speak to your manager right now.
I am the manager.
I'm terribly sorry.
Next level boss fight.
Yes, an actual boss. I'm sorry about all of this.
No,
We're
but
Go ahead. I've got about 5 more minutes before I have an actual appointment I have to go to.
Oh.
So please state your business, or I can have my assistant handle this.
We are looking for our chosen, whose name they go by Smudge. His full name is Skidmark. He's a goblin. We have reason to believe he was here.
I worry that my definition of the term chosen might not be the same as yours.
What's your definition?
She raises her arms up and gestures towards around the rim around this tree. This is the tree of life. Yggdrasil, as some would say. However, it takes life to generate life. And this tree is a part of a system that connects all of the islands together. So it's very important that different groups that exist around the world, different organizations have come together to ensure that we can continue this cycle. We need a certain specific type of person to power this tree of life. Those are our chosen. What is your definition?
I'll turn to Eladwin and just kind of gesture forward.
I have my back turned and I'm just kind of carefully looking at these intricate designs on the wall, and I seem very, very focused on this.
Hey, Eladwin, it would be
Oh,
great
hey,
if
that looks new. I don't remember seeing that.
Hey,
before.
Eladwin, it would be great if you chime in. It'd be real helpful.
I'm sure any information he offers you won't be useful. Perhaps the scientist. What?
Hi, how you doing, buddy? Listen. First things first, I want to look to fire. So apparently this tree is very important. We can't set fire to it, so we got to scrap our fire plan.
I figured. I also imagine it wasn't that easy to fire.
It's actually fireproof. I noticed that there was a fire outside.
Yeah, that was our boat.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to go home.
Yeah. Okay, so from what I understand from the books that I've read, The Chosen, in our definition, is meant to help stop the apocalypse and all of the stuff that's happening outside right now with the frogs and the darkness and all that.
It is my understanding that there are groups working to stop that without whatever crude methods you're going about. I wouldn't worry yourselves over something as trivial as the apocalypse. I'm sure it can be solved through other means, yes.
I'm confused. I'm not used to this feeling and I don't like it.
Is there something worse than the apocalypse?
Well, I mean, complete and utter annihilation. The apocalypse that my church predicts isn't quite as complete. Therefore it's really nothing to worry about.
Wait, we get to pick our apocalypse?
It's more of what we believe will happen.
No.
So far we've
Never
been nothing
mind.
but correct.
I was hoping for.
What were you hoping for? I'm sorry, Mr.
Okay.
Wild? Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I was making Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball reference.
Oh.
Just have Thai food. Such a good book.
Do you have any books on this matter? I understand you have to go to an appointment, but I'd love to learn more about what you're talking about.
I don't believe there's a library here. The moisture content
Mm,
probably wouldn't allow for it. Look, my assistant's gonna be here briefly. I don't know. We don't really have a guest room. We just have the spaces that exist, and they have purposes. But I'm sure that he can show you the exit.
Back to our burning boat. Great.
Yes. Goodbye. I'll
Would
see
you
you
know
later.
where we can find boats?
Yeah, can we get a boat to leave? If that's gonna be the case.
Considering it was your tentacles that destroyed our boat.
Um, can
The
somebody
Golem's
give
got a
me
point.
a manipulate somebody?
Are they a monster?
They are not.
Okay,
No.
Oh.
then I can't do it.
I mean, unless you want me to use I'm a bad man to manipulate, I can go about that route.
Read me the details of that move.
Okay, you get +2 to manipulate someone. Move on bystanders if you.
No, you froze. No, say that again.
Oh, I said I get +2 to manipulate someone on bystanders if I use fear and intimidation.
So you have to use fear and intimidation.
Well, yeah,
Do you think you have a
either or.
precedent? No, give it a shot. Go for it.
All right, so let's see. I get a +2. That is an 11.
What does this look like? Like, at what point? Because, like, you're standing next to Gwen, you're having a conversation. What does this fear/intimidation look like?
Uh, so okay, so what'll end up happening is you'll slowly start to see like my jaw clench, and I'm like looking dead at you, and my scarred up eyes slowly starts to like kind of like vibrate back and forth to show you that I'm like getting more and more visibly annoyed, and that I am holding an axe in my hand, and I can do some very terrible things
Are you
with
just
this
holding
bad
it like
boy.
at your like Arthur style at the side of your
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm gripping it. I'm like, Gwen, I'm gonna just cut this elf down. It'd be just a whole lot easier. We could just keep looking.
No. No.
You sure? You
Yeah.
sure? I mean,
No.
there's from the looks of there's like nobody here. We can hide the body.
They've been helpful. No.
Ellen will take like 1 or 2 steps back and then glance over Eledwin.
Oh, the elf can't help you neither.
Eledwin,
He's
I
just as
see you
useless.
still keep terrible company. And frustratedly, she's going to turn on her heels and clickety clack away. I know, my heart goes out to Ed. You're my favorite character just because I always feel so bad for you.
What was that about?
Hey, what?
Yeah, you. What was that about? What happened? Who was she?
What?
She knows you.
What? Just because I'm an elf, you think I know all elves?
Literally said your name and said
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
happy
the
you said
yes.
that.
she dressed you as if she knew you.
Perhaps she is the matron?
I want to pull Ed aside, like, hey, oh my guy, did you
And your
did you
dad.
do the thing? Did you do the thing? Did you do the thing with this lady elf? To make more elves. Was that what happened? I'm pulling him aside.
Killian, just shut your thrice damn mouth for once.
No, I have questions, and I know you have the answers.
Shannon's bouncing up and down, it's making me so happy.
Your questions to yourself.
I'm a man of science.
Is that your parent?
No, Fayed, I think what happened was there was a one night stand. I'll talk to you about what
Killian,
one
you
night
can
stand
shut that
happened.
mouth, or I'll shut it for you.
Please, Killian.
I want to see you go, fairy boy.
Please stop.
Oh my god.
It's fine if you don't want to talk about it, but is there any information that we should know? that you haven't told us to this point.
I'm as confused as you are.
Okay. I'll take it.
Meanwhile, in a equally vast room, equally empty, there are a couple pieces of rags on the ground, 3 metal dishes filled with dry crumbs, a bucket of water, and a hole in the ground. That probably just leads to like another bucket that somebody else has to clean up. And inside this, I mean, it's not a vast space. It's maybe like 100 feet. I don't know feet. It's 100 feet wide. There are 3 creatures. Smudge, you're sitting on a cloak. It's familiar. It was tossed to you as a peace giving. Next to you is a young boy with black hair and dark skin. And laying on the floor a couple feet away on her back, sprawled out, is a small gnome girl.
I turn to the young boy with black hair and I say, "So, what you in for?"
I was hanging out with my mom and I got snatched. I didn't expect to have to be a little boy. Oh my goodness.
What is with that
talking
elves
to them
and
for a
snatching
while.
children? What is with
I
this
didn't plan
clean
for this question. I'm
theme?
so sorry. That was terrible. That's his voice now. That's gonna be great for me. Yeah, I don't know. I've been here for a little bit. It's cold, but they give you really good bread.
Anything else? Any other than, bread?
Milk? But I'm not sure it's actually milk.
That's creepy.
They say if I drink it, I'll get strong. He flexes. There's nothing to flex, but he flexes.
We'll work on that together, I promise. And I turn over to the gnome, and is the gnome awake?
Yep, he's just staring at the sky. Great, I have to do a gnome voice. Should I mute myself? Hold on, let me practice.
You should be ready. Smudge
Fine.
stands over her, leans right over so his face is directly above hers, and goes, "So, what's your story?"
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I don't know. My father went missing, and I've been here ever since.
What is with you guys and families? Like, it's so much better if you just don't worry about them.
Where is your family?
Oh, I don't know. I think they're dead.
I'm so
me.
sorry. And she sits bolt upright. Probably smack each other in the face.
Ow!
Oh no! I'm so sorry. Do you want some crumbs? And she holds up the breadcrumbs that she's been given to eat.
Yeah. And Smudge just devours them.
They're seasoned. Like, they're okay.
Tastes like human food. Is there any way out of here?
Every now and then somebody walks in to talk to us. They ask us if we're ready, and we always say no. I think they're waiting until someone says yes. We had someone else with us. He finally said yes, and I haven't seen him since. He was taller than me. I think he was a human.
How long have you guys been in here?
She holds up her hands. Can't count, though. Maybe a long time?
Anyone know where this hole goes?
It's where your poop goes.
There's poop? You didn't mention poop.
That's where we were told to go.
Okay.
You can't fit more than like, oh, she's tiny. You can't fit more than a leg in the hole.
Lame. Smudge, does Smudge have like all of his stuff?
I think so. Everybody, like, the kids they have like things. One has a slingshot. One has like a pack with like sunflower seeds that are tossed around the ground because they've been eaten already.
Okay. I kind of want to look around the room and see if there's any other entrances or exits aside from this hole in the ground, even if they're really high up or whatever.
Read a bad situation.
Bad situation. Okay. Oh, dang. I'm going to stay with my partner's dice forever because that's an 11 total.
Oh, damn. So what is the best way out? The poop hole is, obviously an option. Sure. But there is a very obvious exit entrance. There's a carved out threshold, and it's only being blocked by like prison grates, but they were put in there not with anybody who probably had carpentry skills. It was genuinely just like square bars that were wedged in. So like there's spots that it doesn't really look like it fits. There's spots where it's way too tight. Only one of like the actual doors work. Maybe you know that. Like, maybe you know that. Outside, there's nobody inside though.
Just out of curiosity, how much do you guys like it in here?
I miss my mom. Says the little boy. And the tiny gnome, like, I want to go see my dad, so yeah.
All right, let's bust out.
Okay, I don't have any good skills.
That's fine. Let's pool our resources. Show me what you got. Stick it in a pile in the middle of the floor.
Boy has a slingshot, tall socks, sandals, and a rock. Like a nice, really smooth rock. Good for throwing, like skipping on water. Gnome has a hairpin, ponytail, like an elastic. And I'm trying to think if that's who her dad was. Maybe like a really fancy coat.
All right, let's go check out this door and see what we can do. So let's go over to the door. And are there any places where any of us could squeeze through? Because we're all little.
No, because this place was created with the intention to keep children. So there's not a lot of small holes, children-sized.
Okay. I am going to turn to the gnome girl and say, I need your hairpin.
Okay,
And
it's a
also your
butterfly.
coat.
Oh,
Ooh.
there's also a butterfly in my coat.
A live one?
It's an embroidered one.
No. I'm going to go up to the door, see if I can pick the lock. If there's a lock on it.
There is.
So, using the hairpin.
Trying to think like act under pressure. This is a pressure situation.
Let me see. That is a total of. Sorry, character sheet is act under pressure. Oh, that's a total of 12. I am definitely keeping my partner's dice.
Beautiful. You definitely hear a satisfying click.
Ooh. Great. So I look around the room just in case there's anything useful in there. Is there anything useful in there?
3 silver bowls, some sunflower seed shells, a bucket of water, and a couple of cloaks.
Everyone grab the cloaks and hand me the silver platter, and I have an idea for that bucket too, maybe.
You're marvelous.
But someone else has to get that. So we each grab a cloak. Are they small size or are they medium creature size? Or
2 are like, they're all too big. They're not like for you.
Okay. And are they like the cult cloaks, or what do they look like?
2 of them, 2 out of 3 are like Frodo style, like Hobbit like cloaks. I don't know, but like human sized.
Mm-hmm.
That is a nice visual. We also have thunder happening around me right now. My dog barks at thunder.
Okay.
Yep.
Um,
And
Cool.
the last one, it was actually something that was given to you as a bargaining chip by the person that brought you in, and it is a Ledwin's cloak.
a Ledwin's cloak.
It's sparkly. It's got a shimmer to it.
Dibs on the sparkly. Hands off, gnome girl. At a guess.
Gingerly gives it to you. Okay.
All right. So I delegate the elf boy to bring the water bucket over. We swing open the door and hop out.
Okay.
And then what I want to do is the classic almost close the gate, but not quite, and stick the bucket up on top. So it's going to fall on whoever goes in.
Absolutely. I guess it's gonna be maybe a. I don't know if I can lump it in because like there's the act of what are you climbing to get the bucket up top because you're all very short.
Mhm.
Honestly, the
Which
hard
of
part,
us
and
is-
then like getting the bucket up, like if it's got water, that's heavy.
Which of us is strongest, do you think?
Probably the elf boy. I think he's maybe the oldest.
Okay.
12-ish.
Elf boy, hang on to the bucket.
Wow,
And
this
I
is so high
start
pitched. Shit.
and I
He's
start
10. Go ahead.
and I start scrambling up and stand on his shoulders. And would we be tall enough to reach the top of the door now?
How tall are you normally? Like how tall is?
Just about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make like 7 feet. It's like arm reach. But I need an act under pressure, just to denote the success or failure of the actual act.
Ooh, that's a 10.
That's a success. That is a great success.
They can put the cloak on and pretend to be an adult and just walk in.
Right?
Mhm.
I am human person man. Nice to meet you. Like, perfect. Yeah, you're able to place the bucket on top on the angle, so you know when it opens, ideally it hits them.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, and you're good to go. Gnome Girl's holding on to the couple of cloaks and like some bowls.
Okay. All right. What do we see now that we're out of the cell? Like, is it another
A
big room? Is it a
long
corridor?
hallway. It's a long hallway.
Okay.
Winding hallway.
How good at you guys are being sneaky?
Gnome Girl kicks at her feet. My boots have rocks on the bottom. It might be noisy.
Why do your boots have rocks on the bottom?
Traction?
No.
They're the best.
All right. Grab one of those cloaks, the biggest one, and can you climb up here?
Where do you want her to climb to?
On top of me.
Oh,
Come on, girl. Get with it.
yes. Yeah, sure she can.
And there's some like grunting and pushing and ow, you stepped on my nose going on.
That's my ear. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and that's how you want to set off?
Yep. Okay, put the cloak around us. But hey, elf boy, make sure that you can see. Let's go.
He opens a little, where the buttons would be. He'll kind of open up a spot for his eyes. The walking is a little pendulous. Yeah, like, it's not as stable as you would have assumed. Thankfully, I think your heights are like gnomes are small anyways, and she's small. So like then there's you're 3 feet and he's 4 feet. So like it works. It really works. Her head is tiny, but that's fine. Like.
Hey, stick one of those silver plates up on top of your head so it makes the top of your head look bigger.
Oh, okay. And she places the bowl on the top of her head. Perfect. And we're gonna pause. You are eventually greeted by... Who do I want it to be? I get them mixed up all the time. Blue. They're also a guild member. They're normally accompanied by Chai. I think we made Blue the boy.
I don't remember.
They're... It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
They're interchangeable.
they're gender fluid, but originally Blue was the what was the male and Chai was the female.
Oh, I had it in my head it was always the opposite.
That could be.
Like they live their life.
Yeah.
So
They do what they want.
yeah, I'll just change it up as I speak. Yeah, Blue shows up. She's wearing like a blue blazer, some nice blue dress pants. Always prim and proper as they often are. And she's like, "Oh, didn't expect to see you folks here. Welcome, guild. I have to show you the way out."
Oh, this is weird. And fortuitous, I guess. We were doing the thing. We were trying to stop the apocalypse thing.
Good.
We
And
have a boat.
our boat is on fire.
Oh, is that
We
where that
can't-
black smoke came from?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's been a
Okay.
bit of a day. As she's got claw marks from that cat. She's
Yeah.
got like a hole
Wait,
that
wait.
sticker hit her.
Poison still.
Yeah, she's still poisoned. Just nothing about it yet. And
Quick
she's
side note, Gwen, relax, breathe. You're frantic right now. I'm gonna look to Blue. Have you seen our goblin companion?
I'm just the accountant here. I don't. You don't
Goddamn
really see
bureaucrats.
a lot of people here. So it's just one of my side gigs.
side hustle.
And man, hey, if you need to make that money, make that money. We got a position for you over at the scientific guild anyway.
Thank
Try to
you.
poach
So you're
you.
saying Blue doesn't have a clue?
Take it back.
You're fucking fired.
No, that's the best one
You are fucking
yet.
fired. Oh,
Oh,
but
goodness.
damn, I was really hoping because we kind of need him. He's important to the elf. So
And
if you
all
haven't
right.
seen him,
I'd teleport away from you, then get on a boat that went go here.
yeah, that'd be helpful.
How
We need boats.
Get here.
I'm gonna be really pissed off if there's an elevator and a door or a magical doorway somewhere. I'm gonna be really fucking pissed off because we didn't have to steal a boat.
What was the question again?
I don't even know.
The question was, how did you get here
Yeah.
without a boat?
Well, no, not necessarily without a boat. Just how did you get here?
Oh, yeah,
Ahead of
there's
us.
a back way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does the back way come from?
It's the way we've always taken. Maybe there's a portal involved.
Around the island?
I think there's a portal involved. I don't deal with a lot of the magical aspects. Like I said, I'm just the accountant. I know how things work. I show up and do the work and go home.
You're a monster hunter teacher. You would know about some magic.
Can you give? Oh, you can't manipulate people. She looks at you.
Unless I use luck.
He looks at you. Why do you still have this thing with you? You know there's a drop off for things you don't want here.
No, we want that.
No. That's
We
my
love
buddy.
Faryad.
You leave Faryad alone.
They remind me of the abomination. You know all the symbols you see in the books that talk about the apocalypse?
Yeah, I read them.
Do you not see the resemblance?
Faryad?
No.
Thank you,
Faryad's cool.
Elizabeth.
Faryad's cool.
You agree.
But listen, I do not respect this man for over here having a cult that kidnapped children and had a bad one night stand. All right? I'm not gonna
What
take this man's opinion
Cult
right now.
kidnaps children.
Yeah.
Are you talking
so,
about? You know, the guild head. Her son isn't actually missing. Like, he's probably just like hanging out at an uncle's or something. She over exaggerates. Like, I think it's gonna be no big deal.
Oh, no.
Can I read a
No.
situation to see if
Right?
people?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I can trust the big underwater lord guy
Oh
over
my
some,
god! I actually rolled a 12 on the dice.
Damn.
So that would actually be,
You
I
can
think,
ask
probably plus
any
one.
you can ask me. Yeah, no, any question you want about the situation. Plus a couple other questions. Plus 3 questions.
Okay, so my first question is this actually blue?
It is. It is. You just don't often see them outside of the guild work. Maybe Gwen's kind of seen them at a tavern, and he can be kind of standoffish outside of work. At work, like maybe she's a little bit more agreeable, but this is an outside of work thing.
And are they? It's not are they lying? I mean, that's sort of where I'm getting at, but are they are they lying about the son? Like it's like they know do they know exactly where the headmistress's son is?
Oh, I have an idea. Fire, can I suggest you a question real quick?
Sure.
Since this is a facility, facilities usually have holding cells. We should probably ask for those.
Killian, not every facility has holding cells.
What kind
Just because
What kind of fucking facility doesn't
Just
have
because all of your facilities have
Yours
holding
does.
cells.
Yeah.
Do you have holding cells? That's my second question.
So to answer your first question, you definitely get a feel that they're not super concerned about Jamila's son simply because it's apathy in that aspect. And you'd think that somebody else being so close to the head of the guild would be a little bit more empathetic, and to be just so blatantly uncaring lends you to believe a couple of things, one of which could be that they maybe know. They maybe just don't care. Maybe they hate kids. Who knows? And secondly, there's a holding cell. It's got a hole in the ground.
Yeah. I guess my last question is, where are those holding cells?
Blue looks at you. I can take you to a holding cell if you would like. You're welcome. That's where we take some chosen. I've seen it work. That tends to be how it is.
You said chosen.
What is the process of dropping off a chosen?
Normally you speak to somebody who works here first. You make an
No.
appointment, and then you
Oh.
bring them in, and I've seen them bring, people in. This is my first time actually doing it. I think I'm the only employee here right now. And she kind of looks around and really notices the emptiness.
Can I try to manipulate her to just like make her think we're going to be dropping off Faryad, and then get them to take us to the holding cell to drop them off,
Absolutely.
or not?
I
Four.
don't know if Gwen would be on board.
I can roll up with bad man.
Okay, so Mark experience, but what is that? Like, what do you even say to him to be like, you wanna, like, take our friend there? Like,
Yeah, hey, you
How
want
do you
to,
You want to?
would it be possible for us to drop off this here abomination and you
No.
take us to the location?
No, the hell we are. I like Fireard.
I
Fireard's
mean,
grown on me.
I would love to,
Fire-
but you already told me you didn't want to. I'm confused.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
No.
It's okay. It's true. I'm an abomination. I should probably be put in a holding cell where other chosen are.
Okay. I see.
Wink.
I hate all of you.
I think Gwen is just like, no, you're better than that. You should not call yourself that.
I'm just gonna start elbowing Killian very hard.
I think at some point I'm just gonna shove him because he keeps elbowing me, and I'm done with this shit. I'm like, fucking stop, bro.
Could you take us on a tour of the facilities?
Okay, so I was told to show you the exit.
Let's take the scenic route.
Well, I think I can get some points with the big boss if I bring in a chosen. They seem to be super kind to the people that bring them in. I don't really know what happens or what works with that, but like,
Could be great for your career.
yeah, right. Eleven, you know how it is. It's hard work, especially at the guild. Do you know how much I do for Jamila? Let's go, and we'll walk and I'll talk.
Great.
I am totally a chosen abomination. Please take me to the cell.
Oh my gosh.
You, I'm speaking. And they speak over you to talk about how difficult they have it making tea and like sweeping up dust, doing some mild paperwork.
Has Gwyn gotten it yet, or is she
Yeah,
still?
yeah, she
going on?
eventually
Okay.
clicked.
It's not just constantly going on like, guys, what are we doing? This is the.
Not
We
okay.
like them.
I don't like this.
Yeah, it doesn't take maybe about like a solid 5 minutes of walking through these winding hallways. And it's just like hallway branches after hallway, branching off of hallway, very reminiscent.
Branching.
Reminiscent of branches. I hate myself. Goodness. And Aladun, you got a familiar smell. It's so strange to call this scent familiar when it's genuinely a disgusting scent. But it's still it's almost like what's a nice word? I don't want to say nostalgic, but wistful. And you hear the most irregular footsteps in the distance. It's kind of like a clomp, drag, drag, clomp, drag, drag, clomp, clomp. And you all come face to face with a tall, 7'5" cloaked person, with they have a lot of lumps along their torso. Their sleeves don't reach, like they don't have any hands past maybe the elbow length. It could just be a birth defect. And they have the hood up, but you definitely can discern something rather small there, and two dark beady eyes peer out. I think they probably keep walking.
That's clearly just a normal person. Let's just keep going.
Looks normal.
So, no. What I'm gonna do is
Blue is eyeing them, thinking like, do you have protocol to be here? And she's gonna like rummage around and pull out a badge that's just like the sea crescent. Do you have one of these?
What do the feet look like of this?
I think we said the little elf boy had socks and
Socks
sandals.
with sandals.
Yeah. So it's just socks and sandals. little feet.
Are they child-sized feet?
He's like 10.
something doesn't smell right.
It's a little odorous.
I want you to know. Yeah. So I'm gonna
Do you have
lean
clearance?
in.
Smudge whispers up to the little goblin girl, and they're like, "Bluff your way through. I'll back your play."
I don't know what that word means.
Lie like you're in trouble.
Oh, and she has to like whisper into her chin to like direct the speech to you, and it makes the plate slide a little bit. So her own hands have to come up and fix it.
Can I knock Blue out?
Yeah.
No.
How do you want to do this?
Very carefully.
So I just while Blue is distracted and sort of doing that, do you have a authorization or something? I sort of, since they're ignoring me anyway, I go behind Blue, and my battering ram comes up.
No. Okay.
Very carefully.
And mayhem!
Here we go. Here we
Oh,
go.
God.
Here it comes.
Oh.
How many points?
Yankee, you can just cross off everything you've written for today.
Right? Cue the rest of the episode, hiding the body. Like
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna do mayhem. It's just the battering ram just spunk like a gentle tap, and that is a total of 7.
So here's harm rating. What
Let me double check that it's 7.
what is the harm rating on your battering ram?
The harm rating on my battering ram is 3.
Oh damn.
Oh no, did I smack him dead?
No, not quite. I'm just trying to like consider the logistics of this. So like a 7, ultimately when it's a kick some ass move, you're both gonna take equal damage based on the established weapons. But like
Yeah.
this is like a sneak attack.
Yeah.
And monster of the week doesn't necessarily. So it's kind of on me, and I'm considering. It'll be an act under pressure. Do you have any cool to add to that?
Do I add cool instead of tough?
Yeah.
Okay,
There's nothing cool about this.
that's worse. That's 6.
Oh no. Okay, we can. Okay, so 2 things are gonna happen. They're both terrible.
No.
Either you inflict the 3 harm, and like they will probably be concussed, or if it's an act under pressure, you're able to knock them out. But I have to give you a hard choice or a price to pay. And I'm thinking that it's simply going to be that you're in a narrow hallway, and despite you wanting to be as precise, you're going to hit somebody else along the way.
Does Freya have to jump to hit Blue in the head? Because Freya's what,
extend.
3 feet?
Freya is the same size as Smudge.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to leap.
Yep.
So since this hasn't happened yet, this full action hasn't happened. I want to see. I would like to think that I saw this happening, and I just want to like grab fire and be like, and just shake my head like, no, bro, don't be about this right now.
Well,
Let's.
they made the rule, so I'm just going to give
That
them
already
Oh.
happened.
the choice.
Yeah, it's
between-
happened.
This isn't quite like the discussion on whether or not to launch you on a branch. We hadn't rolled for that.
Yeah, I missed that dream. We'll get there someday.
So it's absolutely up to you.
Um.
I think if any of us notice that, we should immediately just prostrate against the wall.
Right?
As soon as
You're like,
you see
no.
that happening, you're like, nope.
So
I grab
like,
Elf Boy's shoulders and try and jerk him to the side, but all that happens is we fall over.
so
The
is
cloak
my
rips.
heart. So is my heart choice basically I hit someone or something
Correct.
else happens? I think-
or Blue will be concussed.
Blue will be concussed.
Okay. So you hear the crunching sound of his skull, and he drops to the ground like a bag of sand immediately. And then you just see Faryad right behind her with their battering ram. Come on, dog.
Oh.
Well, that works.
I was like, something didn't add up, and that's a child's. Those are children's feet.
They
Uh,
go ahead.
Smudge, get out of that ridiculous outfit.
I think they fell over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a
stick my head
scramble,
up out
it's
of
just
the
like
middle of the
legs
coat and I go,
arms.
"How did you know it was me?"
You smell. That's why.
Just followed my nose.
The other 2 kids extract themselves. Oh, more people. I don't know. My voice was. It's fine.
It's fine.
This is Elf Boy and Gnome Girl. Elf Boy, Gnome Girl. These are
Boy.
some of.
Is your mother Jamila?
There you go.
Oh, it's my voice. You know my mom?
We do know your mom. Your mom is a very good friend of mine. We're gonna get you back.
Oh, yeah, please. I miss her so much.
We're gonna figure that out.
Okay.
We don't have a boat, but we'll get you back.
Quick side note: I just now figure out who the gnome girl's father is, and I am very sad and disappointed. That's you.
I don't want to broach it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't think Gwen knows, and she doesn't have to live with that. It's okay.
It's true.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess, boy, well, can you take me to my mom?
We'll try. We're gonna definitely
Cold
work.
here.
What?
We can get a boat.
Yeah, we need to figure out a way out, but once we do, yes.
Okay.
Is the remnants of my cloak visible?
Wait, we don't have a boat anymore?
It caught on fire?
Wait, I miss all the good stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
and I'll
we
pull
fought a
Priscilla
giant
out
sea
of my
tentacle
pouch.
monster. It was
Drop
gross.
soda on me, just a sec, guys.
No
So
worries.
Okay.
when Smudge finally climbs out of the pile of children and sits up and wait.
Yeah.
No worries. We can have a pee break if we want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a. We never do these. Let's do one.
Okay, sounds good. Take 5.
Cat is staring at the ceiling fan with its tongue out.
Super cute. And I would request a picture if you have a chance.
Yeah,
Yes.
just stop doing it.
Oh. But
My cats never
welcome.
behave for camera.
No, never. That's how my cats and dogs are. But welcome back to this very important discussion of what weird things do your animals do. Mine likes to knead my hair, like my ponytail. Don't appreciate it because his nails get stuck in my hair all the time. How about you, Shannon?
Well, Dum Dum, we put sweet orange oil on the counters because cats don't like it.
Yes.
So we'll put it up there and it gets on their paws and then they have to lick it off. But Dum Dum will sit on the counter, lick his paw, make the
And then
Okay.
touch the counter?
and then put his paw right back on the counter and lick it again.
Fantastic. I love their intelligence. Like, it speaks volumes about what they're capable of.
I mean, we appreciate them to a very high regard, so it says a lot about us.
Of course.
Very true.
What about you, Miriam? You've got two kitties that are probably incredibly intelligent.
Oh yeah, one of them is incredibly intelligent, has managed to get themselves into a clamshell packaging of butter tarts and lick the filling clean and close the clamshell.
What?
What?
Yeah, because I wake up one morning and I see the butter tart clamshell under the table, and I'm like, oh, he must have knocked them down. And then I look, wait, there's like one butter tart left, but it's only the pie crust. Where's the filling? And I call my husband and I'm like, did you like leave the crust behind? I know it's weird, but did you lick the filling? It's like, no, why would I do that? I left that for you. And it's like, no, because this is what it is. And then I look at Oreo and Oreo looks at me and goes,
Yep. Thanks. It was delicious.
Ah,
Oh my
I love
goodness. I think that's fantastic. Curly, do you have any cats?
I used to. So, I mean, my old roommate has cats, but I lived with them from kitten onward. So, they're
Totally
sort of my
counts.
cats, you know,
Totally.
in spirit. My favorite story is when one of them, his name was Leo, he was like this big, like we think he was part Maine Coon because he was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and very fluffy. But when he was a kitten, we used to have an armchair that was propped up kind of against a window, and we were in like a garden unit, a kind of underground unit, so the windows were a lot higher up. So he could jump from the top of the armchair onto the windowsill.
Yep.
But one time it rocked on him because I think someone was sitting in it and they got up, and so it rocked. And so he like flew, hung on with his paws like Mufasa, and then slid down the wall. And then he was embarrassed, so he hid under the chair for a very long time, and we couldn't get him out. It was very
I love animal embarrassment. It is so real to them. Like, it's
cute.
unreal to me that they feel that.
No, it was adorable. And he was like, at the time, you know, he was like this big, so he was like this teeny little kitty. But he was so big.
Leo, I love that. Norman, I think you have your roommate's cats?
yes. So the most dumbest thing that one of the cats did was they saw each other, but typically they're kind of hostile to each other. They decided they want to just like tap at each other's paws back and forth under a door because you have to keep them separated.
Cute. Yeah.
And I'm like, and I have to look at him like, dumbass, move. You know he's because the other cat's like freaking huge, more or less. And while he doesn't have his claws, he can like kind of like beat her if wanted to. And at this point, we've kind of like pinpointed that she's now the aggressor.
Aw.
And it's just now it's just hilarious because I'm just waiting for like them to like go at each other and be like, this you brought this upon yourself is what I'm waiting
They
for to
fight,
say
and
to
it's
say to the
normal.
cats. Yeah.
Mhm. I hate seeing it, but it's normal. I still yell at them every time. But
Yeah.
thank you, everybody, for indulging me with your cat stories. Gives me life. So we last left off with the party reunited, a tangle of limbs in a cloak, and Aledwin was kind of peering to see if perhaps in the mess of cloaks is his cloak visible at all.
Yeah, and while I'm doing that, I kind of see Smudge crawl out of this heap of children and stand up and just start being Smudge. I'm just gonna walk over and just kneel down and just give him a hug.
Oh.
Oh.
Mudge absolutely freezes. He has no clue what's going on.
Ah, my child.
Sweet summertime.
I want to
Then
look over to go. I'm
then I'm
like, huh,
gonna-
he isn't such a cool-headed bastard.
Then I'm gonna realize what I'm doing and immediately stand up. And then just firm
And
handshake.
Gwen is standing there like this. Gwen's like this in the background. She's so happy.
Welcome back, Smudge.
Thank you. I found others. Here they are.
Gnome girl does jazz hands to introduce herself.
I'll reach into my pouch and pull Priscilla's jar out and hand it back to Smudge and be like, I was keeping her safe for you.
I just sneak it into a pocket. Did Killian see?
Oh, that's right. No, I didn't keep. I kept her away from Killian. You're all set. I'll do it on the demo. You're welcome.
You should probably keep her so you can practice some more, though.
I appreciate that, but I think she'll do better with you.
You need the practice. You suck at killing things. You have to get.
I killed a whole other thing while you were gone. You'd be so proud of me.
A whole other thing, for real.
And I did it on purpose.
Okay. We'll see how you do with the next one.
Okay.
And if you need practice, then you get Priscilla back. But thank you for not telling Killian and
You're
for not
welcome.
letting her die.
Of course. You're welcome. I'm glad you're safe and back.
So now what?
Well,
boys gonna
leave.
Shuffle in. Can you take me home? I
Yeah.
want to see my mom, please.
Oh yeah, our boat caught on fire. Can we take him home?
We need to take him home.
I miss my mom.
I'm gonna grab my cloak and kind of see if there's any way I can repair it. And obviously, I am not skilled to do that.
Not in your
So,
current state.
No, so I'm gonna stuff that into a pouch, just shove it in there.
Is
That's
it
a
something
great
that
fit.
would require like sewing?
Grabs it
You
back.
would need sewing, but
Stuffs it
you'd
in
have
the
to use the same material it's made out of, which I doubt we have any of.
Yeah. I was gonna try and use my like
Oh.
preparedness thing, and I could probably justify like a sewing kit, but I don't think I'd be able to justify that material.
Keep your peasant cloth away from my cape.
Wow.
And there's that asshole that we
There's
love.
the
Remember?
There it is.
Smudge sneaky tries to steal the cloak out of Aledwin's pouch.
Do you-
Okay, well they said there was a back way. Should we try and find that?
I'm just gonna take a quick check at Blue and make sure that it's not dead.
I take whatever identification they have because I say,
This is the little
Smart.
badge thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It fell out
like,
of their hands. when
is this
she dropped.
magical? Could this open places?
Ooh.
Is it the same badge as the Monster Hunters Guild? Or is it a completely different badge?
Completely different. Yeah.
It
This
looks
one's
like
more
Yeah, we taking
silvery.
its. Okay, yeah, we taking its identification. We stealing identities, folks.
What was I just about to look up? We were walking. No, you took the badge. Fuck.
The badge and
To
look into the
see
health of
whether-
Blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Check if they're breathing and
Um,
possibly if like I everyone would feel bad to just leave a person if
Yeah.
their life's in danger.
for sure.
I just made them take a nap early.
Early nap.
I mean, 3 harm is the threshold. For anything beyond that would be not okay. Like they're stable. Maybe like put them in the security position, like with the
Recovery position.
recovery position. Yeah. Just in
I don't know. I
We
would
can grab
enjoy
Bernie's.
watching. I would enjoy watching Killian perform his weird stuff on somebody who actually deserves it this time.
I mean, do I want to do the whole trust me, I'm a doctor? I'm kind of feeling a bit petty right now.
I mean, if you do, I'd appreciate some help.
Smudge goes up to Smudge goes
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
Blue
I'm
and
still
kind of like,
bleeding. There's still like a.
She's still a little poisoned too. Like it's affecting just her well-being.
Smudge goes up to Blue and pats Blue's cheek and goes, "Hey, you there? Anyone home?
Don't do that.
Why
See,
not?
rapid eye movement, but nothing beyond that.
Hello?" And kind of like
Don't shake.
Am I confident that if we were to just leave, Blue will eventually be okay?
Yeah. You recognize that they probably treatment would benefit them, but like they're not at any critical danger. You definitely have had enough experience identifying wounds in which to heal that you can see that.
I think we should leave this out of any reports we give to the Monster Hunting Guild.
Probably for the best.
They might not
I'm
appreciate
admitting.
us knocking out one of our superior commanders.
Hopefully they won't remember.
I lie about my reports
Yeah.
anyway, so it's fine.
They
I'm not even
also
sure Blue
won't
even
know
realized what happened.
Yeah.
But does Blue know the way out?
Oh, probably yes.
So, Blue!
And I turn and shout in Blue's ear from like an inch away, as if that's going to help. And I go,
Blue!
Smudge,
You have to tell us how to get out, or I'll let Killian do
Smudge,
weird things
where-
to you.
Smudge, you were brought here. Why don't we just go out the way you came in?
I came in the tree. Did you guys come in the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't have a
So
boat anymore.
disappointed.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't exactly a pleasant journey.
There were
I had a
tentacle
good time.
We just need to figure out this back entrance because it sounds like it comes from maybe the main island or something.
Yeah, so
Essentially.
Killian, do your thing. Come on, let's get this done, people.
I take the badge with me. And can I maybe search to see if there's like maybe other things that might be useful? Like badge identification or some magic trinket?
Loot the body. Loot the body.
Well, a magical trinket
no,
that
when-
could be used as
How-
like a portal key or something. That's sort of what I was looking towards, not looting the body.
How is it that you're supposed to be lawful good and you're over here talking about looting bodies?
Being rational. Like,
Yeah.
not that I'm not justifying your terrible things.
Our terrible actions.
I'll let me just
You're
do
all a
trust me,
bunch
I'm
of bad
doctor.
influences.
No. I'm true neutral. I don't care about what's good or evil. There's a difference.
The Crescent badge is probably the most identifying piece of information. They do have their guild badge. They have some gold on them.
I take that.
I
Okay.
take the guild badge because maybe that might be a key too.
You have an identical guild badge though.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's a special because they're staff.
They have like a letter in their pocket.
Ooh.
Ooh, who reads good? Someone
I'm
read
gonna
it.
grab that before Smudge gets his grubby hands and hand that to Gwyn.
I'll read it.
It is an inappropriate love letter from Chai to Blue, including details you probably don't want to read out loud.
Which means
But
Gwyn's keeping
nothing.
that.
Nothing. Give it back. Nothing we need. Personal. We don't need it. Give it
Because
back.
I like dicking around, I'm gonna take it myself and just put it in my back pocket as black.
Give it back. That's rude.
leave.
Killian.
I'm just gonna like nah. I can use this.
You can't.
I have so many different needs. Yes, I can.
We're not gonna. That's fine. We're just gonna veil that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's feel that. Do we have a newspaper by chance over in the aisle? Over
There's
mainland?
nothing else that's particularly identifying on Blue's body. They just like it's their clothing. Nothing really personal beyond that. Maybe like an old quill that's like half broken, but still writable. It's like when you have like a pencil nib. That's about it. Do you want to start traveling the hallways?
I mean, we probably should.
Could I maybe attempt to use magic to try and divine the direction?
Absolutely.
Even though I've been rolling really terribly.
This is your moment, though. You find
Yeah.
You got this.
Oh!
Shocked.
Oh. It's 7.
Okay. Oh god, I love this one glitch where the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention. It's a wonderful one. Yeah, so what does you using magic look like in this sense when you're trying to visualize something?
Basically, I'm gonna kneel down with the staff in front of me, enter into my trance state, try to communicate to Sehanine as best as I can with, I'm assuming, arguing going on around me.
Yes, for
And
sure.
this way, that way, this way. And the idea is I want to channel it through the staff so that it'll kind of work like a dowsing rod, kind of direct me the direction that I want to go in.
Okay. You start to get a tug on the staff. There's a lot of hallways, but they tend to branch off of each other. It's not very structured, but it takes you off in a direction. Does everybody join comfortably? The two kids probably bring whatever
Come on.
Yeah.
garbage cloaks they have. You wander for quite some time. The walls aren't carved in the hallway, it's just wooden, hollowed out passageways. The air is kind of stifling, everything is vaguely humid, and it's just kind of damp, and you feel it on your skin, and you feel just like sticky and uncomfortable. And just like turn after turn after turn until you are finally you step out into yet another kind of wide space. This one, your dowsing rod doesn't tell you to go into the space, but you can't miss it. It's a break off from one of the trails that you wandered to. Your staff tells you to take a right, but this new room is at the left. What would you like to do? Crossroads.
Well, considering that I'm of the opinion that Sehanine herself is guiding my staff, I'm just going to keep going wherever the staff is taking me.
It's legit.
Unless somebody stops me.
That's up to everybody else.
Oh man.
How long have we been following you?
It's been like 7 minutes.
Uh,
The gnome child's been singing like a lullaby because she's a child and it's quiet.
Moonlight of Sehanine guides our passage.
I feel like what's kind of weirding me out about this is that we still haven't seen any other staff, and the only other staff that we have that I've threatened and we've knocked out. So
We're not welcome here.
I'm a little bit weird. Yeah, I would have felt better if we would have just left through the giant tree than
there was no way
us going through this
back
winding cave.
Main island. There was no way we were going to leave that island. This is like our only way out.
True. Yeah, that is true.
So we have
Yeah,
a
I
left
guess
or a
we gotta
right.
keep going.
I could just keep walking at the bottom of the ocean until I hopefully get to the main island.
I think
Nah.
that would take a while.
Go back.
Yeah, that'll take forever.
So what are our options? It's like continuing or branching off, or is it like a right and left situation?
I just keep going, this way, friends!
All right.
Yeah, I follow.
Yeah.
Are there any signs that we shouldn't follow that way, or
Yeah, right.
No, I mean, going in the direction that the staff is kind of leaning towards is absolutely fine. However, in the room kind of where you've all been standing around reconsidering your options, there are, I want to call it torches. Globe lights, balls of light, circulating the chamber up ahead. And in the center, there is a vaguely familiar shape of a woman wearing long robes, and behind her is a long marble altar with globes that are just suspended in the air that shine down, creating kind of like a moonbeam effect on the altar.
If I can just roll back a second, I forgot to mention, when we left Blue's unconscious body, I would have reached into my wallet and put the exact number of gold back into Blue's that Smudge stole.
What do you have?
I love that.
That warms my heart. It was like 3 gold. Like,
Smudge took that too?
No, I did it. I did it as you were leaving. I was making sure.
Okay, never mind.
Fantastic. So it's just like, yeah, that's Smudge's allowance. Yeah, no, that's excellent. The figure behind or in front of the altar is facing you. Excuse me, you understand that I can hear you. It seems that you're trying to take something that belongs to the Tree of Life.
I grab the kids and usher them to the back of the group.
I really think you should follow me.
I'm gonna pick up the gnome girl and just like go.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Ledwin.
Killian?
Oh, I'm taking the elf boy. Like, he's under my arm, and you are just dashing.
Football.
Are you
Right
like
now.
combined? Sure.
It's just whoosh.
Okay. Yeah, you're all able to jointly continue down this pathway. I've got one more check. So you do continue to travel, maybe another 7 minutes. How much of that time do you run for? This is a long it's a big ass tree. I don't know if I made that clear. It's a big fucking tree. Pardon?
Probably.
No, you were not followed.
Oh, then once I realized I wasn't being followed, I probably would have slowed down and not been running.
Would I have recognized the woman that was in that chamber?
The voice, for sure.
Yeah, so as soon as that happens, I'm fast walking. Not stopping.
I keep pace with Ledwin.
Okay.
Anyone else think it's weird that they're not following us?
Don't
Yeah.
care, keep going.
That's my favorite.
we can walk and talk.
Oh, Smudge, I gotta fill you in on what happened earlier, but right now we need to get outside. But boy, do I got some tea for you about Ed over here.
Less talking, more walking.
I love it.
Oh man,
Fast
I'm
walking.
developing so much blackmail material. Love
You
it all.
continue down the hallway, and before you reach the next open room, you hear the rushing sound of water. And once again, we'll say this time to your right, there is an opening into a vast chamber, and this one has an artificial waterfall, and over half of the room is I guess I would call it a pool, a grotto. A grotto is is an inside pond.
It's like what Ariel's in when she's singing "Part of Your World." That's a grotto.
But
It's like
I
a
don't-
little.
So like a cave with water, or
Yeah.
underwater cave.
Underwater cavey thing.
This is in a tree, so like tree toe, whatever the equivalent is.
I get you.
One of those, and it's sparkly as heck.
Ooh.
But once again, like Aledwin's staff is pointing to continue down another direction.
I'll keep following.
Keep following.
Poke my head in.
There it is. I knew it was coming.
It's just like a beautiful waterfall with like really clear and like just strangely like it's like somebody threw a bag of glitter in the water kind of water.
I kind of growl at the water and then leave.
It does not growl back, just continues to splash. Yeah, no, finally, oh my goodness, after like 40, I'll be generous, 30 minutes of straight walking, like the ground isn't like really great for walking, you're probably tired, hungry. Gwen, how are you feeling? I'm almost ready to assign you one more harm, because of your poison and like you're being active and like you still haven't taken the time to treat your own
I
wounds.
think there's been a lot of adrenaline that's kept me moving, but I'm sure the longer we're walking, I'm falling further and further behind, and just like, you sweating, and like you can tell I'm not doing well.
Okay.
So how about would I notice this happening?
Oh, for sure.
Like, would I notice going? And so I'll be like, okay,
Openly
everyone.
sweating.
Yeah,
so
I don't look good.
Okay,
I'm
everybody,
pale.
we can
I'm
take
like,
a breather. Everyone, let's stop. Gwen, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm doing
what-
great. Everything's
Oh,
fine.
boy. Are you sure you've been
I might have been
more
poisoned at one
than
point.
I don't usually see you sweat this.
I was definitely poisoned at one
So
point.
Killian's gonna like smack his face. So Killian's gonna his temple real quick. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm gonna use trust me, I'm a doctor.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, that's so loud.
That is I'm sorry. That is a 12. Wait, plus my weird 14.
Damn.
Nice.
What does this look like? What tools do you have on your persons that you can administer medical aid? And like she's poisoned. Like, how do you also treat that?
So if I have like something that was of the similar poison, I can use that to kind of counteract it.
Neutralize
So
it.
When
yeah, it's a really interesting. If that's the case, I could use some of the sparkling water that we have over there and just whip up a quick serum and just give it to you.
Sorry, are you putting mystery water
Which is
into
what I'll end
Gwen?
up
Yeah,
doing.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I have hold on. I have a first aid kit, which also would imply I have a water filter system, a
Sure.
little small one, but enough.
I
So yeah, that's what I'm
don't
gonna
know how
do,
I
and
feel.
then I'm gonna.
When
I'm
was
a
the last
doctor.
time you did maintenance on that water filter system?
Actually every
history?
week. So not
Have a
so long
water
ago.
with normal water in
Who are
it.
these people?
Yeah, I keep my stuff clean, good sir. All right. Not everyone could just be magically sparkling with your fake ass armor, right, bro?
His
Smudge.
armor.
And yeah, that's what I'll do to heal Gwen.
Smudge is watching all of this with avid interest, eyes as big as dinner plates. I imagine the elf boy is too, or the gnome girl, one of them.
I'm gonna be
Both of
standing,
them.
I'm gonna be
For
standing in
sure.
the hallway, looking into the room, jogging in place. Let's go.
That's
Be-
great.
I'd love to. Give me a sec.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need you to down this
Okay.
and basically just do a couple of breathing exercises for me, and then you'll be fine.
Okay. I'll do my grounding exercises that I'm sure she's
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It does
So you're
take a little bit.
stabilized and you're healed for 2 points. Yeah.
Oh, great.
I
Because
think
one
it
more
was-
would have been 4. So.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was wondering about.
Yep.
Did anybody else suffer any harm? Lasting harm. I know.
Still at 1 harm from the vines, but I don't care right now.
Oh, I didn't take any harm because they were all under 2 armor. So
Nice. Yeah, you're
2
tough.
armor?
Right? They're so tough.
Yeah.
Wow.
The toughest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here for that. Okay, yeah, perfect. So Ed's kind of antsy pacing encourages everybody to continue down the winding hallways, and finally you come into a small alcove that has, how do I want to describe this? Pretty much like you can see the outline of a door, as if the light was on the other side, shining in. And that's it. There's like maybe a pair of shoes there, some boots. That's it, on like a little mat.
maybe this is the way out.
Does it look like the door we came in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
But you didn't enter into the small alcove before.
great.
How big are the shoes?
Like a size 8?
Yeah, those are coming with us, I guess, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Why do I give you these things? You have so many knickknacks.
I imagine the labyrinth, the like garbage women who had all of the like garbage on their back.
Basically,
Size 8.
Smudge.
You know, for
Yeah.
me to wear as a hat.
I thought you lost your hat for some reason. I can't remember.
No.
Was it on the boat? It probably burned on the boat.
It probably burned on the boat.
Everything on that boat is gone.
Good fish, I mean.
Mhm.
Take the shoes and I give them to the little elf boy, and I'm like, I'll trade you for your sandals. These look much better with socks.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, he happily trades you.
Aww.
He wiggles his toes in his boots and they feel great. A little big, but that's fine.
I take the sandals and just smell them deeply. Foot funk, my favorite.
Do you like no, I don't ask questions. You live your life.
It's better not to.
It's better to just let the imagination do it.
I think so. How
That's all I need to see. We're opening that door.
Yeah. It's similar to what you did before. Aledwin, if you place your hand on top, it'll dissolve. And you have an exit that leads into a gloomy outside, but there is a dock maybe 50 feet down the shoreline.
Are there boats?
Neat.
There are boats, but there's something at
I
the
go
dock.
through.
Okay. All the way down to where the
Boats are?
things are? Yeah, totally.
I grab the kids and we wait, and we kind of do the Three Stooges heads around the side of the door to see what happens to Faryad.
Yeah.
I have to figure out what they're called. Does anybody have any? This I didn't plan this far, by the way. Does anybody have any? Got it. There are. Yeah, who needs planning? Faryad, you approach and you notice the shapes that are hovering over where the boats would otherwise be are just massive turtle seashells. And as you get closer, you do notice like the head and the little flippers of which ones are the water ones? Sorry, turtles or tortoises?
Turtle, yeah.
Turtles.
Turtles with the little flippers. Are those? Yeah. So cute. You just see maybe like 4 giant sea turtles. One is hanging out eating some seaweed under the dock. One is snoozing. As you approach, only one kind of like lifts its head from the water and slowly looks up at you with like a nice slow blink.
Hey,
Hell no.
could you help us out? There's these people who kidnap children and we want to take them back to their parents and there's no boats. Could you help us back to where we need to go, please?
Would you like to manipulate?
Yes, finally I can use it.
Yay!
Okay, so
I think giant turtle counts as a monster.
Absolutely.
okay, so that would be I'm just looking for my so
Thing
9.
You've never rolled. Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna double check your page specifically, just in case there's anything I need to know about.
You can read it, but my understanding was that I can't use it on humanoids. I can only use it on monsters, or I just use a luck to roll a 12. Essentially.
Okay. So the monsters always want something really bad. I think this is a wonderful kind of catch with this. Okay, so what you ask the turtle, like, hey, can you help us? We need a boat.
There are children. I'm doing think about the children.
We wave from around the door frame.
Their giant head kind of lifts up and then back down into the water, creating like a slow ripple. And their one eye turns towards you to look directly at you, Faryad. Inside your head, you hear a slow, measured response. What the fuck does a turtle want?
Nether hemp.
Greens.
It wants that dank nether hemp.
Wants a snake.
I'm just taking
That was
into consideration. Oh, crap.
Old fashioned pizza, cowabunga.
Ew.
You are fired.
You're rehired.
So their head kind of does the bob, and then inside your head you hear the slow measured voice say, I need the rain. Can you make the rain happen?
As long as it's not frogs.
Uh, I know someone who can help with that. So I can put in a good word.
Will it rain now?
No. If you were to help us, it would be like once we get there, then I could ask. But like,
This is the only deal we make with strangers. Bring me rain.
oh, one
I don't-
second. And I turn around and I go to Killian. Hey, do you have some leather straps?
Yes, I do. I know where you're going with this, and I'm about to slip right now.
We can veil that. That's fine. We can just leave it there.
Because the other option was I was gonna like try to like I guess hold down a lead one and cut off his hair and
Oh no.
turtles together like in Pirates of the Caribbean when he said that he used his back hair. Yeah.
Turtles are
So yes, I have leather straps.
Okay, so I go and say, look, I brought you reins.
Oh, that's clever. I was thinking of something like that. I was like, is there anybody here named Rain?
One turtle loves it.
Yes.
I'm going to give you one turtle who swims around and is like, rain. And they are ready.
Okay, I bring everybody and say, hey, we got a ride. All we had to do was give them reins.
Will one turtle fit all of us? Is the question.
It will not.
It's
I
not a
can- I
lapras.
can-
2 kids.
It's not a lapras.
Can we at least get the kids on there?
You can probably fit the 3 kids and maybe 1 adult
How much do we trust this turtle?
or 2 kids and 2 adults.
If Faria trusts them, I trust them.
They're good. I mean, I don't need to. I could help make sure the children get to safety because I don't need to breathe underwater. I can just hang on under.
Yep.
True, but the problem is once you make it to the mainland, everyone's gonna start making those faces at you and be screaming in terror.
I just need to
So
get a
I-
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I turn to the little gnome girl and I say, "Do you have those other 2 silver bowls?"
Oh, you betcha. She gives you the 2 bowls. She was wearing them on her head previously.
Let's go fill them up with seawater and dump them on the turtles and see if that makes them happy.
Yes. And yeah, she'll happily comply. 2 little kids leaning over the dock, scooping up water.
We do it and we shout, "It's raining! It's pouring! The old man is snoring!"
Only because I love it. Just give me an act under pressure.
Wait, who's the old man in this situation?
You.
That'd be me.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Like 128 or something.
Life has not been kind to you, Ed.
It's really just been the last 5 years. Wonder
Kids,
what
eh?
life-changing event happened 5 years ago.
Oh, how? Never know.
Oh, it most likely involves Miss Autumn.
You are hanging on to that. I love it.
I am not letting that go.
Love
I hope it's his mom.
That roll was a 7, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Mixed success. Turtle number 2 that initially asked for the rain loves it. I don't quite know how turtles would express their appreciation.
They caught their flippers.
Yeah, only flaps a little bit. And he swims to an angle to allow somebody else on top of their shell. But this turtle has a lapras style shell. with a lot of bumps and curves, which makes it difficult. You can probably only fit 2 people on this one.
I think that catches everyone because I can go under a turtle. I don't need a turtle per se. So 1 adult and the kids, and then 2 on the other, and I just float under.
Perfect.
Perfect. How do we want to go about this?
I am not setting foot on that turtle.
Oh,
And
you know,
then
Okay, it was nice knowing you, Ed.
island. Where are we?
yeah.
To be fair, what if we're where we need to be?
I also actually had another idea was that for Fire, since he can't
They-
breathe, since he doesn't, they don't need to breathe. I would just like speed up the process because I don't know how fast these turtles go. Like strap a string to it and then strap it to like the other string to like the one of the turtles, so it'll just be whisked away if possible.
So am I like water skiing
That's-
with the turtle?
Yes, yes, I need this.
I'm gonna make you roll for that.
What do you need me
Okay.
to roll?
How fast are turtles really going?
I mean, it can
Let me Google this. This is I'm
Wow.
basing
Yes,
these
please.
monsters on real turtles. I'm just gonna Google how fast do turtles swim.
Okay.
Because I need this. I need so many things right now. This is becoming great. My face hurts now.
Yo, 22 miles per hour?
What's that in kilometers?
Why I should know this? Are ours more? So are 40, 48 Oh gosh, hold on.
That's fastish.
Pretty good for
35 kilometers per hour.
There you go.
pretty
Yeah,
good
Okay.
for medieval
Not
age
bad.
technology.
What-
Faster than I would have assumed.
What do you want
actually.
me to roll?
Okay, so first off, Aledwin, like the turtles haven't quite moved yet. Do we have like the kids were kind of peering outside, with Smudge?
We're up there now because you dumped water on the turtles.
Yes, correct. Yeah, they're ready for a turtle party. Gwen, your feelings are.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems fascinating. I think
okay.
she's very interested in this method of travel
Excellent.
because she hasn't done it.
Norman, or sorry, Killian's thoughts are he's what?
So we can just leave Aledwin behind since he's not about this life right now. I just want to strap Fire to a string and then take the other string and tie it to the turtle
Mhm.
so it could jet ski with us.
I was completely okay just hanging on to the bottom of the turtle.
Right? Never mind this concoction. Okay, and Aledwin, so y'all can do what you want, but your buddy is not going to be able to make it with you.
Are you coming?
Well, if
Maybe
we're
you
all going, I have many questions, and this place is the only one with the answers. Also,
It's true, we have solved
we
one
were
mystery.
on a boat, one of the safest transportation methods we've concocted for crossing water, and look what happened there. So I'm not sure I'm comfortable setting foot on a turtle.
Maybe turtles are more fireproof than boats.
There's an argument to be made.
Yes, many.
they're
Also, weren't you the one who set the boat on fire? So
Well, the intention there was that wherever the vines are pulling it, it would then blaze into a glorious holy fire. But that it was a fire.
And that didn't give us that.
So
where, you know what, before anything happens, where can we tell where we are? Like, are there any kind of markers that would indicate where we currently are?
There are no other Ow, I bit my tongue.
Oh,
Oh boy.
the worst.
Okay. There are no visible isles within your vicinity, which geographically
geographically,
Yeah.
geographically would indicate that you're probably on the back side of the Spindrift Isles? Because they otherwise would face the two other isles, Lendor and Lakafka.
So we have to get
So
off this island somehow.
You'd have to go all the way back around, then you'd see where we docked, and then you could go down back to the mainland, or to the island, I guess.
Yeah. Or follow the rails. Well, aren't the boats on or the ferries on rails or something? That
I think we said something like that.
There were water monorails or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
literally just find that and follow that. For that matter, we could even walk on it if it's walkable.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree that the children need to be returned. I'm just concerned about what is going on in that giant tree. It just seems kind of convenient. They're just letting us go.
I know. I'm with you.
That does seem weird.
It seems like a lot. But I think the longer we have these kids around, it's kind of a liability, you know? No offense, kids.
No, I agree. They cannot stay here. We need to get them back to the
Blue
city.
knew that these children were missing and that they were here, which
This is my point. If we bring them back to the city, how long is it going to take before they're back here again?
Right.
Not if we tell everyone what's going on.
Not if we burn down the tree.
Maybe not widespread panic.
Smudge, I put that in.
Oh,
We can't burn down the tree. Ed, it would be a whole lot better if we take the children, especially knowing that we have the headmistress's son with us. Maybe get back some actual firepower, more people investigating this facility.
That's surprisingly competently intelligent. All right.
And if the headmistress seems to be not terribly I'm having trouble getting the word. Not terribly interested in figuring out why her son was stolen, then perhaps the headmistress is also suspect.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know who we can trust. We can't.
Well,
really
she seemed very worried, though. I mean, she seemed very worried to at least get her son, and that I basically get a free bone chuck of a favor.
Counter argument. There's something I haven't told you guys. So we know that Aledwin's people are sketchy as and kidnap kids.
Yeah.
So when we were escaping from the guild, when they wanted me and Faryad to do all of these weird test things, and I have my uncle and I never tried me in the tower room.
Excuse me, you want to run that by me again?
You say that one again?
They had my uncle's was in the tower room, and then he was there, and he had been there for a long time, and then I had to kill him, and it was all kinds of things, and like they had obviously taken him.
I'm just gonna look at Aledwin and be like, and just do the whole bye guy.
Son.
No. This wasn't Eddie's people. This was your people.
My people.
Whoa. This was the guild.
The Monster Guild or the...
Yeah.
They had your uncle.
They had my uncle, and they had him chained to a wall, and his legs were all messed up and stuff because he'd been there for forever, and they were trying to... I don't know why they would have had him there. It's not like our goblin clan is nearby, but like we've got two organizations that are kidnapping relatively innocent people now.
Where's your uncle now?
That's not something we have to worry about anymore.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And I just wink at Smudge. Like, I know, bro.
Okay. Oh, did he die?
Leaving or nah?
I love Faryad's just like unquestionable compassion. Like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Every day that passes, we just have more and more questions, and we have yet to have any answers.
Well, we can't.
Oh boy. What's your mom like at home?
My mom is a hard worker. She does a lot for the guild. Once I saw her fight a giant horse monster. She's strong.
Very strong. There's a reason she's in charge.
Mm-hmm. My mom's super cool. My mom could beat your mom.
Probably. I'm not going to deny that. Your mom's also way cooler than my mom. So.
Thanks.
You're
So
welcome.
My point is, Shiny Boy here might have some logic behind his thinking. And this kid is just telling us that mom really likes his work. And if that's the only thing we know about this kid's mom, like...
My mom
I don't
loves me,
know.
though. She bought
She
me
does.
gauntlets for my birthday. I would show you, but I don't have them.
She also dresses you in socks and sandals.
So does she really?
Well, did she really though?
Damn.
I chose that. My mom lets me make my own choices.
Oh, that's good.
Let the boy wear his Crocs.
Is there something I could do to figure out what I would know about her just from like being around the guild a lot and from my parents probably dragging me to dinner with her at some point and things like that?
Absolutely.
Great.
I just want to see like what you can dredge up. So get maybe like rate a bad situation.
Okay. Let me see. 13.
Beautiful. I mean, yeah, you passed Jamila a lot. You know, she's like, definitely a hard worker. Puts 90% of her into her work. Single mom, attends a lot of dinner socials. Sends her kid to fantasy sports so like he can stay busy.
Sure.
Quidditch.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Not an unkind mom, do you think? Just like somebody driven and passionate about what they're great at.
She's a hard worker and she just like, working single mom, she tries to be there for her kid when she can, but she's busy. I don't think she's an evil woman to my knowledge.
I miss my mom. Can I go home now? Are we gonna ride these turtles? Boy gestures at them.
Yeah.
We need to make sure these kids are taken care of.
I have an idea.
Go for it. We'll take it.
Eddie, you need your cloak fixed, right?
This is true.
And then you can angel wings.
If that's what you want to call it.
Then you can magically transport to wherever I am and bug me some more.
Wow.
Sure.
Out.
I
What?
would call it enhanced surveillance, but go ahead.
Wow.
Wow, big brother.
over here.
A big brother in so many different ways.
Right. Wow.
What if I stay behind and investigate and someone else who's good with talking to authority takes the kid back to figure out what's going on there? And then Eddie gets his cloak fixed and then can angel wings back here in case there's anything important. And if not, he can just take me back to where you guys are.
What a bad idea.
Maybe I should stay back with Smudge.
I agree.
I finally get my spin off. Oh.
Yes.
You,
Just in case Smudge needs, and I pull out my battering ram again, reinforcement.
yeah.
What is the visceral reaction from everybody who sees that battering ram as they pull that out? Like,
My hand just extends and becomes like really thick and big, like a battering ram for like castle gates. Size.
Smudge goes to touch it and then remembers Faryad doesn't like that and restrains himself and bounces eagerly in place.
I think Gwen would take a small, almost imperceptible step back.
Same here, but I'm still admiring it.
defiant rage.
All right, so what is the ultimate separation? Yeah.
Faryad.
Oh, you know my name.
Succession.
Yes, I
Yes.
love it. It means sass. I love this so
I'm
much.
just my
Great.
heart.
Like it's a look of genuine sort of like, wait, what? You actually called me by my name? Sort of a
Oh, it's wonderful.
yes.
I
Are
love it
you
so
aware
much.
with the term taking an oath?
Oh god, not one of these. They're so cringeworthy.
An oath? Was it the thing that we did at the guild
It's a
on
good
our
example, yes. You understand how they work and you follow them.
I guess. I mean, I don't lie for the most part.
Oh, I know. You have definitely proven that. That's why I'm asking you.
What about it?
Will you swear to me now in front of every single one person here that you will do everything in your power to defend Smudge with your life on pain of your own?
Yes.
And I'm going to kind of reach down to touch, but not quite actually physically touch, but just kind of have my hand slightly above the clay. And I want to, I don't know how we would do this, but I basically want to try and make some kind of like a pact or a deal, but like magically enforced.
Give me a
Spit and
plus
shake.
weird.
Okay. Oh man, today's not my day.
I guess a unanimous, like both of you should roll plus weird.
Yeah, so that's a 6 from me.
Okay. Let's see if I can pick
That
up the slack.
is a. Let me see what my weird score is.
Pretty sure you have a good weird. You should be. You're an
That's your
SI.
main
No,
stat.
I actually have a -1. So that's a 4.
Oh no.
Well, this has been an experience.
How does this feel so badly? Like what? Like you both knew what you wanted to do. Like this was a pact. This was like it was supposed to be an oath. But then, what went wrong?
Guess it doesn't work on constructs.
Well, also,
that?
even though I'm made of magic, I don't necessarily have magic.
Truth.
And it's and
Yeah.
I sort of say, well, my word is my bond. You can take it or leave it. I don't like being worked upon.
Well, I'm gonna have to. And I'm gonna give like this fiery stare into your little button eyes. I think they're buttons, right?
Button eyes. Yeah, they're literally
I'm gonna-
buttons.
I'm gonna try really hard to stare like furiously at these buttons, and it's very difficult to do that.
Buttons don't really give much of a response. They just
Yeah, I just kind of see myself kind of reflected ever so slightly,
Oh, that's great.
and eventually I have to blink and I just look away.
Just laughing
Alright.
my ass off on how dumb this looks.
I mean, it's a very serious situation between the two of them. And like, is Killian like, are you just like hands on or like chin on fists? Like, wow, no. Like,
Yeah, I'm just really passive aggressive about this. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna totally work out well. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
I believe in Faryad.
Faryad,
Okay.
of course, Faryad, I believe in. It's 11. I don't believe in.
I mean, he's trying to believe in Faryad. Trying. I don't know what he's got a lot of internal conflict.
Straight abominations.
Are Killian and I staying or going?
Right.
I think probably the three of us will be going because.
Okay.
No offense, Gwen, you're not the stealthiest.
Thanks.
I'm gonna. Not only that, I'm
As
gonna
much as
send
Killian
it to her.
talks about stealth, I don't think he's ever done anything stealthy in his life.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
I
Here's the cool thing
Yeah.
about
I
it
think
is
we
that
know
you don't know
that.
that.
I have known you a long time, and I think I know that.
Personal experience.
And also 2 children in a place where they abduct children. We'll totally blend in.
Yeah.
Smart. All right. So
I have confidence in this plan.
It'll go great. Everything will
hear
be
it in
fine.
your voice. Wow.
That face.
right? It just radiates confidence. Excellent. So our adults are whisked away on
Before they do, can
sea turtles.
I go up to Killian really quick?
Absolutely.
I want to tug on the bottom hem of his coat.
Lab coat.
I'm not falling for this trick again from episode 1. So what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna with my warforged arm, I'm gonna hold it at a distance and take it aside real quick, and then be like, "Speak. What do you want?"
My underpants.
Oh, buddy, let me tell you something about those underpants that you gave me.
Let me tell you something about those.
I destroyed them, but in the process of destroying them,
Does a little like swinging too short arms.
yeah. So
All
in the
of
process,
my favorite farts were in there.
Favorite parts?
that's your problem. I had to make magic out of those. Now listen, I'm gonna pull out a.
Sentence.
The worst thing ever.
Listen, so I'm like with my outstretched arm, I tell him, but in the process of me destroying your underpants, I give him a vial, and that's to basically enhance his senses, like with your style. So he can basically track anyone at any time. So if they ever got separated, he just downs that, and boom, you can pretty much see the whole entire interior building just to find that
Write
one
that
person
down
who needs to.
in your inventory, because I will forget to tell you to use it.
So basically, I can drink this again, and I can re-fart all my favorite farts. This is the best thing
In a
ever!
matter of speaking, yeah, you're gonna smell like 10 times as horrible. I want you to know that.
That probably is heaven. You're speaking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So it's like, it's still a win-win. You just don't have underpants anymore.
You know, Killian, you're
So,
really not selling me on this science thing.
No, you're making science bad for
Wow,
Is
everyone.
this what science is all about?
Fart.
Oh no, this is extreme. This is pretty much what science is all about. It's just, it's more of
Condensing
us
farts.
doing. Yeah, it's more of we're doing things. Be it, but whatever. Jeff Goldblum isn't here to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to know that this goes in my inventory as vial of fart essential oil.
Essential? No!
I'm dead. I'm dying. I'm dead. I died.
I'm done with you.
Have ascended.
Oh,
Done.
good. I mean, that's bad. It's terrible,
So-
but...
Amazing.
So yeah, so now
Fart essential oil.
I'm gonna give it. Yes, I'm gonna basically give it the little vial. Drink it after we're gone, and don't worry about your underpants anymore, bro. Now I'm gonna put you down. You're gonna try to attack me, because if you are, I can launch you into that water. Now, I'm not above that.
I won't attack you.
My long pointed ears are gonna twitch slightly.
Yeah.
Science
And
is
I'll,
over.
okay. I'm gonna go back to the group. And I'm gonna gently put Smudge down.
Oh, and then you froze. Okay.
I immediately bite his ankle.
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
We'll pause for it. He puts you down. You can definitely snap. Oh yes, like a little. Oh my gosh, dog, like a little shark. Okay, so we're getting close. I'm just trying to think how I want to resolve this scene. So the way the turtles were able to carry, I think I said like 3 kids and two adults, 1 adult.
One adult.
One adult.
What adult is going with the kids?
Not Killian.
No, Gwen. Here's what I want Gwen.
What?
I want her.
Why?
I want her to have that reaction with the little gnome girl. I want her to tell her what happened to the dad.
Oh,
Aw.
dude. Okay.
This touched my heart.
Gwen would probably volunteer anyway because she knows the kid's mom and she.
Counter offer.
Mhm.
I don't want to sit next to this guy. How
Mhm.
about I sit with the kids and you babysit him?
I sit with Killian.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy wherever. If you want to sit with the kids, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't care.
All right, I'll share with Killian.
Gwen.
When you're not kidnapping children.
Do you think you could help me get onto the turtle?
Yes, I can.
Are you serious?
That's legit. He's wearing heavy ass armor. Like navigating like dock to wobbly turtle. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I see this ending very badly.
Yeah, I'll help. I'll steady you.
As we have established, I do not swim.
I think we figured
And I
that
do not
out
float either.
early on.
But but I'm also now concerned about the weight of you and the children on the turtle. I would suggest you actually strip off some of the armor pieces. If that's the case.
And then
Killian, do you understand how mass dispersion and weight works?
Well, seeing as I have like doctorates, yes, bro.
It's gonna be a very long trip.
Take the armor off.
I'm in hell.
I'm not saying to take off your
pants. When I take it
oh
off.
my gosh.
Listen, I'm not telling you to take off your pants. I'm telling you.
That's what you said.
Listen, I
Whereas
said some of the clothes.
you're holding
I
things and walking away.
You two are able to go back up like the hill. The arguing voices in the background fade away to the sound of lapping water. Like.
Let's do this. Let's find out what they're doing here. Pinkies, activate. Like,
Yes.
we hold pinkies and we walk along.
So I'm gonna give everybody a closing scene for this episode rather than you giving me one. So you see Smudge and Faryad with their pinkies up, ascending the hill, going back towards that wide tree. The hole in the bark is missing, but Smudge, you've been at this tree before and you've activated it yourself, in fact. So you know that as you approach it, you reach out with your grimy little hand and you touch that tree bark and that door reappears and you disappear inside. Gwen and Killian, you are both... It's easy for you to get onto the giant turtle. You were lucky enough to decide for whatever purpose to get the ones with the reins. And that turtle's just been like happily eating at the leather, which also makes like a convenient little way to steer. And you know the geography of the land, so you know what direction to go to start heading towards the Lendor Isles. Aledwin, after you've been situated on the turtles, the kids, they've been sitting there for a while. They were playing like patty cake or something to pass the time. You're secured. It's got like enough ridges that you don't have the immediate fear of sliding. However, as you tell your turtle, I presume, like, follow that other turtle, it takes off in a different direction, and rather quickly it submerges itself. Everybody is able to hold on. You're only underwater for about 30 seconds, but you see a purple and gold portal underwater, and the turtle swims through. And that is going to be how we end today's session.
Oh, good.
Yes.
That was the back door.
Oh my god.
Oh, goodness. All right, let's see what we accomplished this session. Where is my list?
Blackmail material. I talk so much shit,
Did
and I like to think that while we're riding on the boat. Oh yeah.
Are you
And
gossiping
then I
about
like
that the whole time?
Yeah, with Gwen, we're just talking so much shit.
She's just not even. She's like in her own world at this point. She's not even paying attention.
Probably emotionally drained.
Oh, exactly.
Emotionally drained. Yes, but I also like to think that I want to break out the letter and just like read it like a squire in the middle of the town square.
No,
So
Whether
that
or
guy.
not she's listening is
I'm
fine.
that guy.
not listening. She's not
that
listening
guy.
at all.
Fair.
I love imagining
Like-
this body language with Killian just like gesturing like crazy, and Gwen just
Gwen-
kind of sunken into herself.
1,000 yard stare.
Yeah,
100%.
it's gonna be
Alright.
great when I have to tell her over again when she's not like emotionally dead
I
inside.
feel like then she'll have
Like-
the thought to walk away.
Oh yeah. She would just
Okay.
dive into the ocean and be like, "Never mind.
Goodbye.
I'm done.
Good day.
Goodbye. I'm gonna go swim and hang out with Ariana and
The cool
Smudge."
turtles. So did we conclude the current mystery?
We found the kid.
Found the kid.
Yeah, we found Smudge.
Yeah.
Found the
Is
kid and we
there-
found Smudge. I'd say that's at least a past mystery solved.
I
Sort of.
think that is a conclusion. I will give 1 point for that.
I level.
Yay! Congrats.
All those terrible rolls.
Finally.
Wait, Faria, you was the last one to level up? I thought I was the last one to level up.
No, I leveled up before. This is the second time I'm leveling up.
Oh, okay.
This is my third.
Oh my god.
This is monster of the week. Like this is you're supposed to level up quickly. It's the best part.
Yeah.
Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Nope.
Sense of the tree of life.
Tree of life. Yeah, that's a big thing.
I'll give that half a point. If we can find another half a point, you get one.
Okay.
Tree
did
of life
we-
and giant turtles.
We also learned that there's overlap between the Monster Hunters Guild and the Order of Seven.
church.
I would give a
With-
more serious point for that one, but we might have something else that fits as well.
Turns out prophecies are actually pretty loosey goosey.
So it looks like they make it up. Weird. Did we save somebody from certain death or worse?
Yes.
I think
Yes,
so.
two.
Little kitties?
Yeah, I
Oh,
say
I
the
don't see
count.
anything good happening to the kids inside that tree.
No, for sure not.
Yeah.
I before the session started, I had Googled altar room, to paint a picture.
Nice.
Just,
Oh boy.
you walked past it. It was beautiful.
I bet.
Did
Maybe
we
we'll-
learn something new and important about one of the other hunters?
Wibbly wobbly on that one.
Yeah.
Eh.
We have
Oh.
inklings of
Oh,
something.
as a house.
Uh-huh.
We have inklings of something on that one.
Is that the other half?
I am so angry that Smudge wasn't there for that and doesn't know.
Oh, right. So I'm gonna give everybody one more point for sure.
Okay.
Like there was enough. Yeah.
Cool.
Damn, 2 experience
Ah,
points.
I'm almost there. One more and I level.
So close.
I need 3 more.
We're getting there. Fail a couple
Yeah.
more rolls.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes.
I don't think I've failed so far of any of my roles.
At some point, probably, but
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll be the case. And I need some experience points.
Okay, excellent. Well, that concludes today's mystery. I guess some sign-offs are, as always, my name is Bianca Zelda. I can be found on Twitter as @BiancaZelda. Yeah, that's all I do. How about you, Norman? Do you exist on the
You
internet
can-
or in space?
In space, yes.
What
And
is
then
your space name?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me
It's fine.
at. No, I'm just gonna move past that. You can find me at Norman Lambert 45 on Twitter.
Perfect. Carly, do you
Uh,
have a space name?
My space name, oh gosh. I feel like it would be all that's coming to mind. I literally have a Star Trek poster above my computer up here, so I'm like,
I mean,
but
it counts. Whatever you
yeah.
got.
I feel like it would be something like I want to call like I was gonna say Zelda, but then that's funny because you just said it, so I think that's why I said it. Or like Xena,
I like
who's
that.
Warrior Princess, but I also want to be her. So
Still very acceptable.
Xena. And on Twitter, you can find me at Carly221B and Instagram CarlyOB.
Perfect. Miriam, we can broaden this beyond space. Either your space name or your alien name. If you had to belong to any alien race, I don't even have to know about them because I'm not super deep into sci-fi.
Neither am I.
Okay, but like, what's the most alien-like or space-like? I don't quite know. I'm sure there's name generators for both.
Huh. I think I'd probably go
Okay,
with
put you on the
some
spot.
space, probably some space scat species, because that's sort of my default if I don't know
Beautiful.
anything. Like Neelix, whatever Neelix's race was.
I don't know enough, but that's okay. Where can we find you on Twitter?
I am at media_junkie.
Excellent. And do you do anything online? What are your hobbies, perhaps?
Where do I begin?
It's my favorite question to ask you, simply because of that.
Okay, so I think one of my biggest babies is definitely the Musafirs podcast. I am the GM and creator. It is a bi-weekly decolonized actual play podcast. And I do a lot of other streams, and you can get all that information on my Twitter page. I actually updated the Twitter header now.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah.
I like that. How about Devin? Space, alien, or dinosaur name?
Dinosaur name. I can't even pronounce most dinosaur names.
Too many consonants and just like vowels in weird places.
Scientist for you. I'm gonna go with the. What the heck's the name of the language?
Would I even know what it is? Probably not. What is
No,
it?
it's Relayan. Which is.
You could have made that up and I would never know.
It's fair because when you hear what I'm gonna say, you're gonna think it's.
That's not made up?
That's totally made up.
Okay, beautiful.
All words and all names are made up.
Yeah, that's a fact. Where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at DonMeGoldenSun. I'm actually planning to start, hopefully, releasing some D&D adventures I've been working on. I'm going to be putting those up, so those will be available for purchase and download, mostly because a friend of mine wants them, and so I need to actually myself and get those out now so that he can use them. So I'm going to be posting about those, and you can kind of see progress updates and things. This is the plan.
Fair. That's really exciting, though. Congrats. And then finally, Shannon. How about space, dinosaur? What was the other one? Alien. Or, guys, give me something. What do I got? Or
Transformer?
Transformer.
Can I
Pardon?
Can I be a space dinosaur and be a supernova Saurus?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you also transform, that is a bonus.
Yes, and I transform into what is supernovae? They become white dwarfs afterwards, or do they become black holes?
The white dwarf one? I don't know
No!
enough.
Oh no! They become neutron stars, so then it would be a neutronosaurus.
Ooh.
Yes.
I love this
Yep.
so much.
Yep. Perfect. Well,
I like how the literal like 10-year-old character is just space dinosaur alien.
it's so fitting.
Part of myself to access.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for joining, and we'll be back together next week. Bye.
Bye. We love you. Partially.